Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to have a bit more of a look at National Archives. So that's the National Archives of Australia. I've been on their website a little bit before. You might remember in the video I did researching my World War I ancestor. So National Archives has quite a lot of war records which are amazing, but I thought that I would show you what other sorts of things that they have, because they have loads of other kinds of records. Obviously today I'm not going to be able to go anywhere near like how many they have, but I thought I would just show you a few more examples just to get you excited. If you haven't already, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any of my future videos, and also ring the notification bell because it'll let you know when I upload. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm just going to head into National Archives now and show you some of the examples from my own research. Okay, so National Archives is nwA.gov.au, and we go in there and click on Explore the Collection and Record Search. So it's really straightforward. Now I usually just use the keywords, but you can also use the name search. Okay, let's do the name search today. And I'm going to put in my ancestor, Henry Bland. I'm just going to say all records. He arrived in Australia in 1881 and he died in 1925. So I'm going to look between those dates. Oh, lots. 90 records. Let me see if anything looks like him. These are them. He has patents. So what I know of Henry, he is my, God, I think it's 3 times great grandfather. And I know that he was an engineer, and when he came to Australia, he came to New South Wales and he worked as an engineer. So when I look in National Archives for him, I actually find a whole bunch of patents, which are cool for little inventions and things. So, you know, all of these are incredible. So let's just open one up. Yeah. Okay, so these ones are not, you see on this side where you've got digitized item and you've got the little note paper beside it, that means that it's already open, like there's a digital copy that you can just open up. So my ancestor's records, I cannot open them. I can see that he has a lot of patents here or applications for patents. I can only look at them, so the status is open, so I can just look at this, but it means that I would have to actually go in person or request it to actually have a look at those patents. So one thing that's actually really good for looking for is patents. And you might not even know that your ancestor had any. Like when I very first looked for him, I had no idea that he would have them, and he actually has quite a few, so that was cool, and means that next time I make a trip out to Canberra, I'll definitely be having a look at National Archives. Okay, so let's just go back and do another one. Do another name search. I'm going to look for, I'm going to look up another man that I have researched, not for my tree, for somebody else's. The surname was Swanson and Selm. That is a Swedish name. So there's probably not going to be too many of them, so I won't worry too much about a date. I'm not even going to worry about a category because, once again, I think it's going to be a easy wide search. So let's have a look. There's only one. Now I know that he came from Tamworth, or he originally came from Sweden, but he lived in Tamworth once he got here. And this work is actually a digital copy. And this is a book that he wrote. So it was from 1916, and he was definitely an eccentric kind of guy. And here is his book. So first we've got his registration for copyright, which gives us a little bit of information about him as well. And then we can just see, this is 122 pages. I'm not going to take you through all of this, but the fact that there's a whole book up there that, you know, my friend's ancestor has written. So we've got some letters to start with, just about the copyright and registration and whatnot, which are also fantastic. You've got his writing, you've got personal letters from him. But we can get through to the scarlet-coloured beast with 7 heads and 10 horns, and a woman sitting upon the beast. What a fantastic book is this. I mean, it is definitely religious and, you know, not probably my normal cup of tea, but we've got a picture here of the author. And Jesus too, by the look of it. Here we go, see? So I believe this book is a sort of interpretation of some of the scriptures. It's probably not interesting to everyone, but if it's your ancestor, it can give you so much insight into the way that they thought about certain things. So a book is another amazing find on National Archives, and this book isn't easily available anywhere. So yeah, it's a real treasure to have it, and not just that they have it, but that it's digitally completely scanned in and you can read it for free or download your copy. So amazing. All right. Back out of here and back to the record search. So I'll just also show you the different types of searches. Like you've got your basic search where you'll just put in any keyword, and that is really straightforward and simple. You've got the advanced search where you can look at different, what are you going to call them? Systems, as they call them, I guess. But as you hover over it, you can see you've got all levels. You've got organisations, and then they've got some examples there of what an organisation would be, and you can just sort by organisation, for example, agencies, series, and items. So you can sort of pick, you can search just by a particular level if that's what you're particularly interested in. That would be more for, I guess, more generalised research into different areas, not maybe looking for just one relative, but a more general historic research. The next one we've got is the name search, which I've just done. As you can see, you've got all sorts of records underneath that, and it scrolls a little bit further than you can see here as well. So there's all sorts of records that come under this. You've got a photo search, so you can type in keywords and dates and potentially come up with photos. Passenger arrivals, so that's pretty self-explanatory, and once again self-explanatory, but newly scanned records if you just feel like checking out, I guess, browsing. But yeah, they're great. So I'm going to go back to, let's just go back to the basic search. I'm going to type in Elvis Presley and see what we've got here. We've actually got quite a bit. Some of these, obviously, we don't have the digital copies yet, but you could go and request them, I suppose, because there's that. Here we go. This one's a photo. Let's view the digital copy. Obviously that is not Elvis Presley, but it is in front of pictures of Elvis Presley, so it's been tagged with his name as well. But one that I really wanted to show you was the top one, the protests regarding visit to Australia. And so if you click on view digital copy, we've got 9 pages here, and we've got the protests from when Elvis came to Australia in the 1950s. So if I just click next, it'll start opening them up. Now these are both letters and responses. So this one is a response. we can zoom in here. Refer to the letter which you presented recently from Mrs. C.J. Moore, Deanery Representative, St. John's Church Mothers Union, Moss Vale Branch, expressing opposition to the proposed visit to Australia of Mr. Elvis Presley. So this being the response, I'm going to click through and go to the original letter. Some of these are probably duplicates too. There's a few letters going on here. So this was the original letter. Oh, here's one from, yeah, the Countrywomen's Association of New South Wales. Dear Mr. Bates, oh man, this writing. The members of the above branch have asked me to write inquiring whether anything can be done preventing the visit of Elvis Presley to Australia. They are very strongly opposed to this visit as greatly fear the damaging effect on a great number of impressionable youth. Hoping something can be done concerning this matter, yours sincerely. So this is from January 1957. And here's another one. Dear Mr. Bate, the members of St. John's Church Mothers Union, Moss Vale Branch, would like to add their voice in protest of the proposed visit of Mr. Elvis Presley to Australia. We would like you to use your influence in preventing his arrival, as we regard his performance and conduct a direct menace to our young people and an added burden to their parents. Yours faithfully. Don't you love these ones? They are so funny. I'm sure that there are still people who, you know, when an artist is touring or whatever, maybe a speaker or anything, I'm sure there are still people who write to government to try to protest or prevent these things happening. I'm pretty sure I remember it happening at least in the 90s. So I just find them kind of hilarious, especially, you know, because I guess Elvis Presley these days seems so tame, but they're so funny, and it's so great that we can access them just by opening up National Archives and just typing in his name. So it's a real slice of history. So those are just a little taste of some of the things that you'll get at National Archives. I realize this is just a little tiny slice, but it was really just to encourage you to try typing in your ancestors' names and just see what comes up, or even famous people, or if you want to look at sort of a particular region or group or something like that. It's worth trying everything in there because you would be amazed at the collection that they have. I've also seen some like amazing sort of naturalization records and shipping records, things like that, that can really help grow your family tree. So I highly recommend going and checking out National Archives. Okay, that is it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up and make sure you hit the subscribe button. I hope that you are having a good one, and thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I look forward to seeing you soon in my next video. Bye!